Content warning. This episode contains explicit themes of body horror. These themes start at around 43 minutes and continue until the break. Stay safe, everyone. Also, you may hear certain audio effects that I was messing around with this episode. Your computer is not breaking. That's actually in the show. Anyways, enjoy. In a huff, Ladara, you push down the street. The argument replaying in your head, emotions still strong, still very present. The open air of the Undercity provides some comfort from the heat that was building in that room. What kind of place do you think Ladara would be heading to? Like, where do you think you'd be going after the argument you just had?
I think she would probably just find, some random alleyway.
You take a moment to just duck into a secluded alleyway amongst crates and barrels and other riffraff and junk that's been disposed of, just stacked, breaking away from the hustling and bustling crowds that are moving to and fro with the new purpose of survival and care for whoever has made their way down into the Undercity. Azram, you shrouded yourself as best as you could in the darkness of this sort of makeshift sleeping area. A curtain pulled across, meant to shield any light from coming in for those who have worked hard through the night and thus have different sleeping schedules than the people that are at work right now in the rest of the room. Your friends, one of them still remains on the other side of this sort of repurposed base for the Tempest of the Unheard, and the other one has stormed out. There's so much that they either don't understand or you feel that they aren't trying to understand. And then there's so much that you don't understand. But you take a moment to breathe. Before a pain pounds against the inside of your skull. Taking that moment. Your heartbeat rings in your ears. There's an immense pressure from blood redirected. Ladara, in that shrouded alleyway, you feel that same pain, forcing you to shield your eyes from the electric lights that illuminate the Undercity. And in those split seconds of darkness, you realize they're not completely dark. I need you both go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
16.
16?
12.
12. Vincent, as you hear that voice transition from the familiar feeling of sending to something far more probing, far more invasive, when you close your eyes, you see a space, empty and boundless. Unlike any space you've been in, you stand on a pitch-black floor that stretches into void. The only familiarity being two figures who just minutes ago stormed away from you. As you see Ladara and Azram, you all see each other in an expanse of darkness.
Where are we?
What is happening?
Hell if I know. Cool.
you see from the darkness a figure materialize. Beautiful. Long blonde hair trailing down onto a perfect blue gown. They smile towards you all as they repeat the question that drew you into this place. So, whose voice do you prefer? Mine? Or Finnegan?
What?
Vincent, who is this?
I don't know. Who are you?
I mean, surely you recognize me? Before you, the figure is that of Finnegan Walsh. But devoid of emotion, just standing on this plane of darkness looking towards each of you.
Who are you? Really?
I suppose I have no need for this face any longer. You watch as that form begins to shift and change. You see opalescent pale skin, multicolored like refracted light, beautiful and almost hypnotic. Sheer white hair falls over empty eyes, and that beautiful gown turns to almost robes of black with fur trimming. There's a flowy quality, as if it complements graceful movements. They look, and you have never seen this person before, or somebody like this person, ever in your lives.
Where are we? What is this place?
Physically, you're still where you were. I assume that means either in that little building, though I've lost sight of two of you. But you are still in the alleyway, Adara. Mentally, you're in a place where we can talk and parlay with me. So let's talk. I've informed Vincent here, but it seems that you've figured out a key piece of information. And I have been told it's time to relay to you a reward in some way. A few answers to some burning questions.
What did we do? Guys, what did we...
I can assume it has something to do with Garrick.
They smile, a very slight smile back at you, as if to affirm.
God.
You work with Garrick.
Yes.
With or for?
For is a better term, I suppose.
And what exactly is your job, your position?
You and your companions have killed my 3 other colleagues. I'm sure that young Dresden told you of my title.
So, what are we here for? Did you need us now for some reason?
Oh, I thought I'd offer information. You see, by solving the first piece of the puzzle, you take your first steps into something much larger than you. And He feels it'd be unfair for you to go in completely unaware.
Go in.
What do we do? It was some fucking game? We just like little game pieces?
Pawns?
Not at all.
Pawns.
You know, like chess.
Yeah, we
Or
can get
chess.
into that later.
Anyway.
We view this with the utmost importance.
And what's stopping us from just finding you and killing you now?
You can certainly try.
Azram like throws a dagger at them.
You reach for your equipment in this sort of strange liminal space. There's nothing on you currently.
Can he materialize his whip?
Nothing. As you stretch out your hand, nothing materializes.
Good try.
Scratch that, I guess.
So you've been pretending to be Finnegan this whole time?
I've been borrowing their face.
A person. Just borrowing a whole person's identity.
I suppose that it's strange to you all to do something like that. But in my line of work, it's fairly commonplace. In fact, in all honesty, two of you seem to incorporate that tactic quite a bit.
Yeah, but we're not disguising ourselves as people for extended period of times to completely uproot a city and kill hundreds of people. See, that's the moral difference. That's the difference between us.
Interesting. Well, I'm not here to debate morality. It's hard to explain in concrete terms the will of beings far above us.
Or below us.
I don't see it like that.
Really?
No.
Is it not like that?
Morality is not something that I consider when it comes to dealing with beings outside of our realm of knowledge. When I say above us, I don't mean whether heaven or hell exist. I mean that we are so insignificant to them that no matter what we do, they carry the power. And I don't see that as something to fear.
Where's the real Finnegan Walsh?
Living a happy life somewhere. Maybe out at sea, like they talked about.
Are they lying?
Make an insight check.
14?
You can't tell. There is some sort of assuredness in their answer. But they also just are monotone in how they reply. It's so matter of fact that you're not sure if they're being genuine or if they are just a very practiced liar.
Why their face?
It was useful to me. They weren't using it, at least not here. They made it very clear to me when we spoke.
Why Weldon?
If you're wondering if there was a personal reason, there wasn't. I have no quarrel with any of the city or its citizens. I have no stake in the machinations of either family.
What about Garrick?
He doesn't either. I'm sure that you've realized that any of the places chosen by Slaughter, none of it was personal.
So what role do we play in this? Why us?
You all are a personal interest to Garrick. In reality, you don't fit into the machinations, the basic structure of our goals. And I think that intrigues him.
How long have you been watching us?
Me personally?
Garrick.
This whole thing, how long has this been going on for? How long has this been planned?
I suppose Garrick's had his eye on you all for quite some time. Since you reunited back in Siniev. Though he wasn't given a concrete way of keeping a watchful eye on you all. Till, I suppose, a few months ago.
Seems like you guys can't keep your eyes off of Ladara. You've been bothering her whole life.
Unfortunately, Ladara was an accident. In the grand scheme of things, she wasn't meant to survive the slaughter. When she arrived over at our former base of operations, full of vengeance and hatred, why, it was sad. Because, in reality, up until that moment, Garrick felt nothing towards her. But, surely, seeing someone who survived, well, that's when interest peaks.
Damn, so sorry to disappoint you all. Live this long. And be such a burden on you guys. Because I'm not gonna stop following you. I'm not gonna stop trying to find him. It's not even now.
I bet. But our focus is spread. Because young Ladara here has found two very interesting friends who we also keep quite the interest in now.
I hardly think I'm that special.
Do you? Everyone else materialized without their possessions. They gestured towards their chest. Yet that follows you.
I'd rather not talk about it with you.
It's fine. I've learned quite a bit. Thank you again, Ladara.
It's not your fault.
Vincent, I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. It's alright.
This is not meant as a time for me to gloat or to drive a further wedge between us. This is meant as a time for me to give answers.
To build upon the relationship that we so desperately want?
Yes.
Thanks. That's so kind of you.
You're welcome.
Where's Garrick?
No longer here.
Where is he?
Already moving on to the next location.
The next city? Is this gonna keep happening in other places?
Now you're catching on.
Oh god. Oh my god. For what? What could you possibly want to do this for?
Just to see.
See what? That's incredibly vague and annoying.
This whole conversation is incredibly vague and annoying. If you want to give us some answers, then give us some answers. What I want to know is, what are you doing here? What do you want from us? And where is Garrick?
We've already accomplished what we want to do here. Everything else is out of our hands. What we want to see is how you and everyone else responds.
Like a test?
Not necessarily. A test implies there's a right answer.
So an experiment.
A better term.
I'm assuming you had something to do with the bell. Is it still there?
Yes. An intentional oversight. It still resides up in the clock tower, left behind by people far wiser, and left to collect dust by ungrateful stewards.
And you left it there on purpose to see what we would do with it.
Yes. It's quite dangerous up there.
So where is he headed next? Where's the next stop on this terrible journey?
We talked about a few places together, Ladara. Places that would be of interest to each of you.
Oh, great. Perfect. Awesome.
Great, well, we'll just avoid those places now. Thank you for telling us.
The places that we really need to go personally
course.
for, very specific reasons. But now, of course, we're gonna have to go and fucking kick your guys' asses.
It's an option. Certainly a course of action that you can take. You asked why Weldon.
Mm-hmm.
We did not alter Weldon's course. We simply sped along a process already in action.
Oh, so the city was already in the process of spiking everyone's drinks and turning them all into vampires? Damn. What a quirky little thing for the city to do, without any intervention at all. I'm sure that's exactly what was going to happen.
Already written in the stars.
Yeah.
Foretold by prophecy.
You guys are basically fucking gods then, aren't you? You're just going out and doing the divine work.
We don't view ourselves as gods. And a massacre taking place a few nights ago, as opposed to a few months later. Simply a matter of time.
And what did you gain? Are you just that bored?
We don't do this for our own gain. We do this to know more. As Weldon was, is, and would be, we now know. The old realms, the way that they bleed into ours. You've witnessed history retold and remade. Now, there's a chance to make history anew.
You see, there's that God complex again. Like it's your responsibility. Like you're doing this world a favor. When realistically, I'm just painting a target on your back.
It's not our responsibility. Not any longer. I suppose it's everyone else's responsibility.
That's not how consequences work, actually. When you do something wrong, it is your responsibility to fix it.
It's actually your fault.
Yeah.
So
what
you're gonna
I've
get the
learned.
backlash for this.
Implying that we didn't already achieve the results that we wanted? That any of this was a mistake on our part?
You see, but before this, we had no idea what was happening. But you see, now we do. And that's where it's gonna fuck up your whole plan.
We're waiting on it. Eager to see just how.
How old are you?
Valid question.
You want to answer this? I certainly have years under my belt. I lost track of them, but I've been around for quite some time. Not an ancient being by any means, nor an immortal one.
So like hundreds or like thousands? Like how old?
You're like,
Below hundreds.
Okay,
you're like
all right.
12.
So you're not that crazy.
you're like 12 years old.
You're like a child.
Like a little baby child.
Goo gaga.
And they just sort of look on towards you all, confused by this reasoning.
Like you're gonna piss your pants.
I just wanted to know at what age it like went wrong.
Your parents not love you.
Your strategy to stop us is to insult me.
No, I'm not trying to insult
I-
you. I really am trying to figure out how I don't turn up like you and how I make sure that I stop anyone from going down a similar path. Because let me tell you, your plan's fucked. Garrick is fucked. The whole organization is fucked.
He's right.
I'm just trying to make sure that that's never me.
They look and say, I've certainly heard plenty of vitriol before in my life.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Vitriol. Vile words. Like, do you know that? Like bad.
It means like insults.
Insults. Oh, alright. Like pretty bad insults.
Okay.
For a second, they're just like, what?
This is an A-B conversation.
Maybe C.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks.
You can dick your way out of it.
You can take your way out of it.
The slander aside, what is Garrick's plan with us? You said that we're not a part of the plan, so where are we?
It's more accurate to say that in all senses of the word, you are outliers.
In what way? How do you mean?
In the way of the hierarchy of all beings. We don't know where you stand.
Well, we're not gods. We're just people.
And yet, you seek to defy gods. You seek to defy those far more powerful than you, and you have. Garrick believes you all to have potential, strength, beyond that you know now. He wants to nurture that.
He's not afraid that we're going to surpass him.
With what permission, also? Why would he expect that we would want to do that? And want anything to do with him? For him. We're not living to be his, pets to raise and to one day be useful to him. We're people first, and we're not here for him.
And that's the common misconception. That you believe this is all for the advancement of Garrick.
Some Delulu ass shit. That's out of character.
Ladar said, you fucking Delulu.
Delulu looking ass. What the fuck?
You believe that Garrick does not wish you to surpass him. That's far from it. He would be delighted to see you rise higher until finally you strike him down.
Well, he should be afraid of that, because it's going to happen.
Why? Why does he want that? That's so weird, actually. That's a little weird.
It's a little
if I'm being
strange.
honest, and anyone think that's
You're
weird.
right. I think it is a little bit weird to be
There
like
has
excited
to-
about that.
Yeah, there has to be more context for that.
In the context of the material plane, motives may seem complex. Just know that Garrick doesn't view himself against you all.
Because he's trying to use us.
No. He does not see you as subordinates, nor does he see you as people that will be useful to him. He sees you as interesting. Outliers in a hierarchy far beyond this plane. He wants to know where you lie on that hierarchy.
You keep talking about this hierarchy of beings, of powerful people and gods, and you're obsessed with it. What does Garrick care? Is Garrick trying to become some sort of god?
Garrick doesn't seek to become a god. He only desires to know if the old gods deserve their place. The distinction between gods and men in this world is long faded. The lines blurred. Those primordial gods which wrought Aphra from dust and sludge into beauty. They've been long forsaken. In this age, the people don't revere the gods.
Well, I don't know much about gods. But I do know hundreds, maybe thousands of people, innocent, or maybe some not innocent people, died by your actions. And that doesn't alarm you. That's fine with you.
It doesn't. In the grand scheme of things, those people, they received consolation. The consolation of knowing their place in the universe. They found their place in the hierarchy. And some were led to a station much higher. Young Valentina, she's achieved so much more. She was led far beyond what she was given.
You led her to her death.
I led her beyond. I'm sure that you can see that she's still very much alive.
I wouldn't call that living.
I would.
I guess living is a matter of opinion, then, now?
No. A matter of perspective.
Why the thorns?
Like the appearance I took on. They were useful. A means to an end. Valentina Thorn showed promise. She was ambitious to rise above the station given to her. The place they believed her to be in their own hierarchy. She was determined to break free of it. And we wanted to see if she could. And she has.
Whoever I saw in that tower is not Valentina. She died.
You'd be mistaken. It's her, as she knows her place. She's been enlightened to be her truest self.
Bullshit.
Did she look unwell to you? Unhappy with her situation?
She didn't have a choice. And that's the issue. There's no consent here for these people. It's just you somehow have the right to decide that these people should change and be different. And as much as you may think it's better, that's up for debate. It is completely different from their real lives. And how could you possibly know that they truly would want this for themselves? And why do you think you have the right to decide that for them?
You may view it as them being without choice. But in reality, in the scheme of beings far above them, far removed from our own world, would that choice even matter? From my perspective, it seems as though fate led them down that path. The things I do, the things we do, are not in spite of the machinations of the universe, but in harmony with them. Garrick doesn't see himself as a god, no. Garrick doesn't see himself as the enactor of fate. He's simply a conductor.
There it is. Whoop.
The piece is already written. He simply needs everyone in place to play their parts. To guide things along.
You've got a lot of trust in Garrick, don't you?
I do.
And you think this is all worth it?
I do.
What if you're wrong?
Then I'll join the how many thousands that have lost their lives being wrong. And I will know my place at the end of all things.
How much does Garrick know about us?
Quite a bit.
How?
He's just been able to keep quite a watchful eye over you. It's provided him more than enough opportunities to simply listen. Sometimes we may need more direct answers, which leads us towards roundabout ways of gathering information, such as our meeting Ladara. But for the most part, Garrick's quite informed.
I'm gonna try something.
Go for it.
I'm gonna say, hold there for just a moment. And then I'll open my eyes. And very quickly cast True Seeing on myself.
Okay. As soon as you open your eyes, there's a pain, like a throbbing headache that's in your head, as if almost to force your eyes closed, but you're able to push against it. It's difficult to operate like under this spell, whatever they've done to you, but you're able to cast True Seeing on yourself. You blink your eyes as suddenly the sanctum around you begins to just blend into the environment. There's this strange sea-like quality to the world that takes as joining those like rolling mists of purple and silver strings that zig around. There are these strange, almost like fish-like creatures that just like swim through the air, around people. You see that there are some that surround Astrid and just swim around her and then fly across through the room that nobody can see. Taking a look around, though, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. Make a perception check with disadvantage for me.
No. Boy.
And then you can make an intelligence check as well.
10.
Nothing out of the ordinary sticks out to you in this space. Intelligence check, just regular.
13.
This is enough. This is more like an idea insight, but you do know that Azram is like right across the room behind a curtain, and you don't know what you look like from inside that state of looking and how things are. So you could always go check that out if you'd like go find Azram.
Well, still on the phone call?
Well, still on the phone, yeah.
Still in this conference call? Okay. Yeah, I'll try to get up and go over to him.
Okay. You push yourself up to your feet, shaky in stance, as you're seeing triple with your vision. With each step, you can hear the words just echoing inside your head, as they're incoherent almost from this person, who I don't know if you've actually asked their title yet, but you may know already who they are. But you push yourself across the room. Some people have their eyes on you as you are quite unsteady. You pull that curtain open to see Azram lying there on the floor, just
Jeez. On the floor.
breathing heavily, some sweat pouring down as if there's a fever.
Like, I look like that shit.
And across the arm, that Azram's tattoo had formed itself. You see, for the first time, blinking open, a multitude of eyes.
Like eyeballs?
Like eyeballs? Like fucking like Donzo from Naruto? Like with the fucking eyeballs
tattoos,
in his arms?
but like
Actual.
like on Azarim's arm?
They take the same. They
Body
take the
horror.
same. Yeah, I'm actually.
Yeah.
They take the same blend of the ethereal and astral plane that you can now see into, that just blink. And as you notice them, they all look at you. As Azram's just
Dying. I close my eyes.
welcome back.
You've been using Azram to spy on us. It's on his arm.
Good. Another piece. You're welcome.
How are you able to get through my sanctum?
In which sense?
The spying, the contact.
Azram's able to enter your sanctum. Is he not?
He is, but the magic shouldn't be. It shouldn't be able to connect.
Very true. In the sense of how magic should work on this plane. But you're presupposing that the eyes themselves are a spell. Something cast that has taken effect. Mere illusions. A physical manifestation of a purely magic ritual or effect. Why not just see them for what they are? Eyes.
Azram, buddy, I'm really sorry. It's pretty fucked up.
What?
Your arm has a bunch of eyes on it.
Can I see my arm?
Yeah, doesn't look like there's a bunch of eyes on it. What the fuck is he talking about?
What are you talking about?
The way it really looks.
Can I try opening my eyes?
You open your eyes, you feel that same splitting headache, but looking down, you just see that lightning tattoo across your arms.
I don't know what the fuck you're seeing, Vincent. My arm looks normal.
I'm using a spell. I can see what it looks like. It's not pretty. I'm sorry.
Ew.
Oh, I liked my arm.
You see, Vincent, magic and what it could be is far more broad, far more inventive, far more powerful than how it's used in this world. Don't feel confined to components, learned spells from generations of fallible people. Some things are only possible when you broaden your perspective.
This is why people like you should not have magic. People like you that are fucking crazy.
I don't understand. I joined Invictus so that you would leave my friends alone, not so that you could spy on them.
An interesting choice with a result that you assumed would be the truth. I don't remember there being any agreement. I wasn't told of one where we were not to poke our noses into something that clearly interests us.
Well, then I don't want to be Invictus anymore.
Oh god, okay. Well,
That's too bad.
I'm gonna cut my arm off.
Don't do
Azram.
that. Don't do that. I can't bring that back. I don't know how to fix that.
Interesting response.
You think I won't?
I think you will.
I don't want you to
I
hurt
also
yourself.
think
over
he will,
this.
honestly.
Hold on.
We're coming to the end of our time here. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. You can find more answers. Cellar of the Thorn Manor, where young Valentina did all of her work. As for us, our communications in Weldon are quickly coming to an end.
Thank God.
I'll leave you with this. We want to know if the world deserves saving. We came into this with a burning curiosity. And I suppose only time will tell what the answer is. Now, I'm sure you have some big decisions to make. So I'll let you go. And with that, like a weight lifted off your shoulders, like pressure being pulled from the inside of your head, you
Oh,
open
God.
your eyes. Ladara, you are still
my
far
God.
off in that alleyway, the sounds of the Undercity suddenly returning all around you. Azram, you shoot awake, your eyes open, seeing Vincent just sort of standing, sitting there near you in this space.
I immediately just start tapping my arm. I'm just like trying to feel, see if anything feels abnormal.
Vincent, you're still under the effects of true seeing.
Yeah.
It is an unsettling sight to see them react. Because as Azram runs his hands across, he feels nothing. He doesn't feel any difference. But as you see it, it's almost as if he's just running over them as they blink.
Stop doing that. It's gross.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
Give me a rag.
What?
I'm cutting off my
no,
arm.
stop. Let me see your arm. Give me your arm.
I hand over my arm.
I'm gonna just take a closer look at it and try to like poke the eyes and try to at least. Are they moving at all? Or are they just stationary? It's the same ones.
No, they're moving. They all twitch and just.
But do they like shift on his arm? Is what I'm asking. Like, or are they like in the same place?
First,
yeah.
I would like to ask Ladar, what are you doing
sorry.
as you awake in that alleyway?
Yes.
Wake up and I'm like, oh my God, thank God that's over. And then I'm like, I need to get back. And so I'll probably rush back to
You
where
rush.
we are.
you feeling?
Emotionally distraught, physically in pain.
Oh no.
Rush back all the way through the streets, the argument now seeming miles away as you push in through the door, and you can see Azram's arm being held by Vincent, who's just staring at it and poking at it. It's absolutely unsettling as they all stare, and they all seem stationary. But as you take your finger and you just jab it into one of these eyes, you see it sort of sink into the skin and then appear somewhere else.
Oh god.
What is going on in here?
There's one right here, and then there's one right here. Here, let me get anybody got a marker? I'm gonna get a Sharpie.
Fantasy Sharpie.
Fantasy Sharpie. There are so many of them on your
There's-
arm.
With the way that they sort of blink and move, it's hard to count them all.
Is it like a spell? Can we just like...
I think it's more than a spell. I think it's something experimental.
Like a curse or
It could have been there from so long ago. That could have been there for so long. I mean, you've just now done the spell, right? And that's how you can
This
see
is
it.
the first time I've been able to cast it.
So they've seen everything.
cool.
Everything you've done, at least. Why did you make that face?
No reason.
All right.
I just
You're got an eye for.
Jesus Christ.
feel bad for the people who are in charge of monitoring me. Or good for them.
Oh God. Okay. Anyways, we don't need to get to that. How are you feeling?
Sans the idea that my literal arm is covered in eyeballs?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'm feeling confused, angry, murderous even.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like I need doctor, I need my arm off.
No,
I'm
not gonna do
I
that.
need to be amputated.
Ignore him, please.
The curtain
doesn't-
pulls, Dr. Neerja, they look down at you and say, did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, I need a new arm.
No,
No.
can we? Do you have any gauze that we could wrap it in?
I wish gauze. I can do gauze.
Probably not.
Yeah,
gonna
just.
work.
Is there an infection? I mean, if we have
there's
to
a-
amputate them, we better make that decision
It's
right
not-
now.
It's not infected.
No, I'm infected. I'm
I
dying.
wish it was.
Honestly, it's
If Rowan was here,
it's
I mean,
pretty bad,
we could get
but
you
It's not an infection.
something new. For now, let's just get some gauze if something's wrong. Do you want me to take a look at it?
No. I guess there's nothing you can do.
Vincent can see it.
Okay. All right. they come back with gauze.
I'm gonna start wrapping up your arm, and I'm like, I don't know if this is going to do anything. Because it's
Maybe-
just gauze, but I don't know.
It can make you feel better. Maybe they won't be able to see through it. I don't know.
So
You
funny.
begin to wrap the gauze up the arm towards the elbow, and as they cover more eyes, you see them first trying to appear on any exposed skin on the arm, and then you reach the... I don't know if Azram's sleeveless or not. Is that is he sleeveless,
kind
or
of-
does he have sleeves?
He'd probably be in his like traditional,
Regular outfit.
his like, his tunic.
It depends on how much skin is exposed, but as you bring the gauze up the body, you can see that where the eyes are covered, they reappear on exposed skin till you are up towards the shoulder, and you have a sudden realization as you turn Azram around to where the rest of the tattoo originates. You would need a lot of gauze.
You're going to be covered from head to toe. Completely covered. I know it's not your usual style. We'll find you something. A turtleneck, maybe? A long sleeve?
Okay.
Why? What? They keep moving.
What?
The more I cover, the more they move. We're gonna get you a full body suit. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna get you a morph suit. We're gonna cut out little eye holes for you to see. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry.
Oh my god. I'm covered in eyeballs.
It's
Why do these things always happen to me? Why
You're
is
the
it
one who
always
signed
me?
up for a cult. I'm sorry.
It's a lifelong subscription, baby.
It's a lifelong.
No way out of the sun, baby.
character. I don't know how to help that.
Is there any turtlenecks?
I'm sure I have one, but I don't know if it fit you.
I feel like I can't do any. No, let me put it on. Is it gonna be like a little small? Like a little skinny?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's like, Azra's like, I want that actually. In the bag of holding it, I guess I'll like try to find some sort of like long cover up for you that I brought along on the trip.
Yeah, you're able to find something akin to like a nice turtleneck sweater. Sure.
What color is it?
Black.
Black.
Just
Yeah, I was
black.
gonna say. Just like something nice that was meant to cover up during the colder months.
Here you go. I'll see where these eyes travel to.
I take off my shirt.
Okay.
And then you just have to. There's a moment where you just have to look away from the spots that are covered with the tattoo, as it's far too unsettling for you. For the rest of you, it's just like it's business as usual.
Azram shirtless.
It's Azram shirtless.
Once
As
again.
unsettling as usual.
But as Azram slides the turtleneck on, as Azram slides the turtleneck on, covers most of his body, it does a fairly good job of covering most of the eyes. There are still a few that are peeking out from like the hand and everything, but otherwise you don't see any appear like on his face or like on his other arm or on like any other exposed parts of his body. It just seemed to crawl up the arm and then onto the back.
Perfect. This is working. It's working. They're barely there. You can
kinda
barely
hot.
see them.
I mean, like temperature wise, but also fairly. Oh, it's still also a very, very tight
Titties
fit.
out.
Pretty tight.
You-
Vincent's
you're-
Crop
pretty small.
top.
The muscles on this man are popping out thanks to this turtleneck.
It's working.
They're,
It's like quarter sleeve. He has a crop top.
you do still see that underneath the sweater there's still like shifting movement and such, but for the rest of you, I mean, you haven't seen anything. You have no idea as to what it looks like, as to what it feels like.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you don't want to see it.
I don't
Honestly.
think
it's
I don't
pretty.
think I want-
I don't think DeVille's gonna like this.
Stop it.
What the covering up part or
The eyeballs.
he probably can't see the eyeballs.
Did I tell you guys
What?
DeVille's coming?
What?
I'm sorry.
Excuse me? Right now? Right?
Did you Did he tell you that he was coming?
Yeah, he's
Did you
almost
tell
here.
him what's happened?
What?
Yeah, he'll be here, like, probably, honestly, any moment now.
What?
That is a terrible idea.
Right
You need to tell him to
now?
stop.
I did.
See, oh god.
He's gonna run into all this.
How did you talk to him? How did you even
like,
contact him?
letters? How was we been able
Probably
to
would have
find
taken
you?
so long.
I, like, point to my necklace.
What? What is that? It's a
It's
necklace.
my necklace. I talked to him through my necklace.
Can I take a look at it? It's got runes on it, right?
Make an Arcana check. You can. This is just regular, basic communication magic. Just one check is fine. It's not as super hard.
13.
13 is enough to tell that this is a sending stone.
Oh, okay. So you've just been sending messages back and forth between this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And
This whole time you still talk to him?
Of course I still talk to him, Latara.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
he's coming all the way here for what?
For what?
To
To help us?
see you?
What kind of person do you think DeVille is?
I don't know. I don't know what your conversations
I
are
don't
like.
know what your relationship question mark is.
Yes. I'm in a relationship with DeVille.
We just didn't know how serious it was.
We never really talked
Don't
about
talk
it.
about it to us.
Well, you never asked.
Well,
I was a little busy. Sorry.
regardless of your status,
So yes, DeVille is coming
You
here
should tell
because
him.
he's worried, okay? Because I told him what was going on. I thought maybe that if I died, I should let the person I'm with know that I'm gonna die. And so whenever we came down here and the fucking hell broke loose, I gave him a little ring and told him...
you gave him a ring.
No, I didn't give him a ring.
Give him a ring?
No, like a ring, like on the phone. I can understand.
What's a phone?
What's a phone?
It's like there's more questions than I have answers to.
I gave him a message. I sent him a message on my
Okay.
little stone necklace, and I
Okay.
said I'm probably gonna die. It was nice knowing
it's all
you.
right. Please calm down. It's all right. It's okay. So DeVille's on his way. Does he know what's happening?
Vaguely, as much as I can fit into about 25 words.
Okay.
Understandable.
Well, then I guess he could probably either help or something.
I hope he doesn't see the eyeballs. What if he thinks they're ugly?
Probably
If only
won't.
Vincent, I can't see it. So
And honestly, they're not that bad.
Is Vincent lying?
Make an insight check.
It's 7.
No, he's totally telling the truth.
Yeah, they're actually
They
pretty
look
cute.
fine. Yeah.
From what you can infer, Vincent's kind of jealous a little bit
They're
of
like-
the eyes.
They have eyelashes. You could definitely put some
They go
like,
blink,
makeup
blink.
on there.
What color are they?
They're, in reality, they're like a swirling multitude of colors and very unsettling to look at. A little like they're basically all different colors and like change like colors whenever they like blink in a
rainbow.
way. But in reality, there's no right answer to that question.
They're kind of like hazel. They're like a really nice. They've got like blue on the outside and like some brown on the
well,
inside.
That's not bad.
Like flecks of gold in there.
So you think he's not gonna think they're ugly?
No,
like,
I think
break up
I-
with me.
No, I think he's coming all the way to see you here in the pit of hell. So probably
that
he's not
wouldn't
gonna.
stop him.
He told me I wasn't in hell, so I can tell you guys we're not in hell.
Okay,
That's good, I guess.
we should tell him to not actually come in here. We'll meet him outside, but this is not the place.
I think I've already sent him a message today. I don't even think I could call him, beep him if you want to reach
Yeah,
him.
you actually
Shit.
earlier you did send a message.
Well, I can talk to him.
I mean, if you think so.
I don't think
What
you
do you,
should.
what do you think?
I mean, you can try talking to him and see what happens.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
want him to come in here.
okay.
I mean, I do want him to come in here.
Yes, but
Safely.
Safe. Yeah, I just don't want him to die, so.
So while Vincent's doing that,
Yeah. Let me give me 1 second. And I'll just very quickly cast one sending to DeVille.
Okay.
And I'll be like, hey, bud.
This is gonna be a shit show. When DeVille and Vincent
thank
will
God
ever talk to
Ladar. Thank
each
God
other.
Ladar can't talk to him.
Like, hey, you
Be
little
like-
fucking piece of shit.
Hey, bitch, what the fuck is up?
Don't come in here. It's bad.
It's all about the eyeballs.
Do you want me to tell
I just want to know what he's getting himself into.
him? You can tell him that when he gets.
Okay.
Please don't risk your life. Stay outside. We'll meet you. How many days we've got left? How many days?
Like
This is towards the end, so we're
2?
thinking like maybe like 2 days until you leave. 2 or 3 days.
In 3 days.
yeah, sounds good.
I think he's like a day away.
A day out.
Well, how many words I got left? I think I have 5 left.
Yep.
Make camp. Be patient. Bye.
Lay camp. Be patient. Bye.
Yeah, make camp. Wait.
Same as the message you got, Azram. You get the message of the equivalent of somebody like on speakerphone while driving, like really fast, except by horse. So it's like, and then you're, what do you mean? I can't just leave you all in hell. Don't tell Azram you might be in hell.
Azram, I don't know how to tell you this, bud. I don't know how to tell you this. He might not be honest about everything. Anyway.
Make a persuasion check for the last half.
Okay.
These last 5 words on what they will be.
Persuasion, you said?
Yeah,
21.
21. But fine.
Yes.
I'll wait outside.
Great. He says he'll wait outside.
Oh, that was easy.
When's he gonna be here?
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a pause in the sending. There's almost like there's that frustrated beginning, which is like, and then the last bit is like a deep sigh, and then fine, I'll wait outside, like that sort of thing. So he's not happy about it, but he also knows that probably it's coming from one of the most rational members, or at least the most safe members.
He's gonna wait outside, so he's not gonna get eaten by a sturge. So
I mean, he might. I saw outside.
how far did it go?
I don't know.
Did you not check?
I looked. I couldn't really figure it out.
Should we all check again?
I think we should go to the cellar first.
All right.
Yeah, I guess. All of the answers are in the cellar. According to him.
That's a really good impression.
Thank you.
Should be an actor. I mean that genuinely.
I don't know if that's something that I'd be good at.
You never know until you try.
Hmm.
Anyway, you're right. We should go.
So,
So you're all making your decisions, as there may be a chance later to go check the full barrier, but for now to follow up on what to give them a title. The Hand of Persuasion has told you. That's where we'll take a break. Hey there, this is Christian, the Dungeon Master for the Strings of Fate. Thank you for listening to episode 26 of our podcast, and welcome back. It's been quite a while. Currently, I don't have any other time I can record this because of some schedule stuff, so if you hear One Piece in the background, it's not me this time. Now that that's out of the way, on to some announcements. Let's start things off with a celebration. We hit 50 patrons on Patreon. That's right, we hit our first patron goal. 50 people financially supporting the show is huge to us. Thank you to everyone that went out and supported the Patreon or just people who shared the Patreon. 50 people supporting us financially is huge to us. We hope to bring you much, much more bonus content and so that you will enjoy your stay on our Patreon. But for now, thank you for being a patron. To solidify that, I am going to read out the list of names for people who have donated at the $10 honorary bard tier. Last time I didn't have a complete list in front of me, but now that I am recording this right as we hit 50, I am going to just go down the list and read it with my also list of names that people want to go by and names that people pronounced. If your name for some reason is not correct on this list or I read the wrong name, please feel free to DM me on Discord or to message us on Patreon and I'll get that right fixed in the document I have. Without further ado, thank you to Se Caitlin, Dr. Neerja, Isella, Carissa, Mary, Potter, Shell, Carrie, Moan, Orion Arthur, Patty, Annie, Tamara, Eli, Allie, Obsolete Goat, Adjnor, Auda, Orpheus, Percy, Valentina, Bug, Leon, Emma, Dskaia, Thea, Sparrow, Olivia, Astrid, Courtney, Cupid, Jay, Toby, Kenzie, Rowan Ash, Eskil, and Rin. Thank you so much for being a $10 tier supporter. It means a lot to us. This is probably the last time I'm going to do a full read through of all the names. From here on out, I'm just going to choose a block of names and just go through the list like that. So, keep an ear out. Thanks so much for all your support, everyone, and keep an eye on the Patreon for new bonus content. The 50 patron goal is not the only exciting announcement that I have. We have picked a winner for our Dungeon Depths giveaway this week. The winner of this giveaway will receive a $25 Dungeon Depths gift card to use towards any purchase. That means handmade dice, that means dice vaults, that means D&D apparel, that means soft pod merchandise. So, without further ado, the winner of the Dungeon Depths giveaway is Akura Yamine on Instagram, also known as Melody. Congratulations on winning. We will reach out to you on the platform that you won on and you will have 24 hours to respond to us. So keep an eye out. Thank you to Dungeon Depths for both hosting the giveaway and for sponsoring this show. That's right, if you haven't heard of Dungeon Depths yet, well, you're on episode 26 and you must not have heard any of the breaks because I love to sing their praises every break. Dungeon Depths is a store dedicated to quality gaming supplies with character. Sorry about that, but they really are. They make quality apparel related to RPGs. They make quality dice. They make quality dice vaults, dice trays. They host our soft pod merch, which is super huge. And as of the day I am recording this, it is Olivia, the proprietor of Dungeon Depths. It is their birthday. It won't be their birthday when this comes out, but currently it is their birthday. So I'm just going to speed run happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Olivia. Happy birthday to you. After recording that, it sounds wild. And I'm wondering if I should put it in or not. But I'm gonna. Right now, you can head to their shop and use the code SOFTPOD at checkout to get 10% off your order. That's SOFPOD. Thank you so much, Dungeon Depths, for all of your support. Hey, guess what? The Strings of Fate actually has one more new sponsor. That's right. We are partnering with Roll20. We were accepted into the Roll20 Spotlight program. That's right. This episode is brought to you by Roll20. You can go to their website for all your virtual tabletop needs. I've used Roll20 quite a bit in my DMing career because a lot of my friends don't live near me. And so instead of putting a real table in front of them, I got to put a virtual table in front of them. But where can I find a virtual table? Does that even exist? Actually, it does. At roll20.net, you can find modules for whatever game you want to run, including character sheets, battle maps, etc. It's very, very fun to use, very easy, and also is a great way to stay connected in these times where you want to play games with so many people, but they might be across the world or they might be just a little too far, you know? So thank you to Roll20 for sponsoring this episode. This has ended up being another very long break, so I'm going to go ahead and end it around here. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as well as leave a comment down below. Your comment prompt for today is to wish Dungeon Depths a happy belated birthday. Otherwise, enjoy the show. Bye! So, during the break, we all talked about, I think, your next move. You want to go to the cellar, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's take some time. You spend, I'll say, the next long rest getting everything back, recovering from your very tense sort of situation that you had earlier, and eventually you awake to regroup together. Whether you keep that energy or whether you've completely forgotten it is up to your character if you're just sitting there awkwardly, but it seems as though the plan is that there is a job to do. And because of that, you gotta move forward. Make your way out of the Undercity together, up through the tattered and ruined streets of Weldon. It's the next day at this point, but the sky above gives you no indication of that. There's no sun, no moon, just sky. Illuminated sky, but a sky unfamiliar to your own. You make your way through. Everyone give me a stealth check, please.
24.
24?
19.
20.
20.
That means I roll a natural one.
24, 19, 20. Those are all enough to avoid a conflict here as those beasts still roam the streets. You can hear... Make a perception check.
19.
5.
3.
Okay, 19.
19.
You can hear that the streets themselves, where they were once filled with the sounds of distant battle and whimpering and the sound of fear of citizens and that sort of thing, are now oddly silent. There's still creatures that roam and prey and stalk. You can hear their growling from other alleyways and other streets. You can also hear that the cackles and laughter have died down, and instead you can just hear sort of frustration, grunts from not beasts, but it sounds like people. You see, as you all duck through an alleyway listening, you can see a group of nobles just tearing through a storefront, and you hear one of them just shout, "No one here either." And you can see that their faces are gaunt as they are, and even more like their eyes are bloodshot, and their teeth are outgrown their mouths. Just these sharp, sort of jagged teeth that are. That you can see the saliva's running down their faces. You're able to sneak past them, but it looks like things aren't going so well up here for them.
Disgusting.
You make your way towards the Thorn Manor. Pushing through the gates, you can see that wide expanse of lawn and estate, all culminating in the destroyed structure at the top, burnt to ashes. Getting closer, you see the rubble of the house, collapsed beams, furniture that's been ruined in heaps and piles. Because of the state, it looks like nobody's really searched through this area, so you can feel free to look around if you'd like to make investigation checks.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, man. 12.
12.
Damn. It's... Oh.
What are you proficient in fucking?
Actually, you might be.
Actually, I am.
So?
But, so that's 16.
16. Okay.
I think Azrim's is like an 8 or something.
Damn.
Ladara, you are able to, in your search for the cellar, digging through the rubble and trying to find your way through, you're able to see that because there hasn't been a lot of people to do this place hasn't been picked clean in terms of loot and stuff, so you're able to actually find a couple gems.
Oh, shit.
You'll have to appraise them later, but you can just write gems in your inventory for now, and then I'll give you the actual price of them later. They're able to pick up. So, but it's easy enough to find the cellar. You remember exactly where it was in the house. As you clear the rubble out of the way, just pushing aside collapsed beams and stuff, you can see the actual entrance further down into like a brick cellar. Anything y'all are doing before you head down?
We're at the top of the cellar, not like in the cellar.
Not
yet,
in
right?
it. Nope, at the top.
You all ready for whatever's down there? Or
I guess.
I guess we're gonna have to be. Let's just hope for the best and make sure we all have each other's backs.
Alright.
Deal?
Deal.
Deal.
Alright, let's go.
Okay. You make your way down into the dark and damp cellar. Stepping across cobblestone floor into a very expansive space beneath this mansion. You have to go down quite a bit to actually reach the floor itself. Hundreds upon hundreds of casks in a almost labyrinthian dungeon of a cellar. It expands outward just before you. All the wine of the Thorn family now just laying here to ferment for the rest of however long this lasts. You make your way through and towards the far end of the cellar itself, keeping an eye out for any danger, but there's just eerie silence that meets you here.
Can I check for traps or anything like that?
Make an investigation check.
16.
16. Making your way through, there doesn't seem to be any traps you can't deal with. You can see that in certain corners there are rat traps that some have sprung, catching prey unexpectedly and thus quickly ending their lives. You can see that there's like pretty rudimentary mechanisms like tripwire connected to something that would set an alarm off at some point, but nothing that would be a danger to all of you. But making your way to the far end of the cellar, you can see that there is a brick wall where Tasha told you that there would be one. So, you see there ahead of you a brick wall. And that's where we'll end. Just kidding. No. Okay.
Is it just a brick wall?
You can make an investigation check to check it out.
I'm gonna check.
Check it out. That's 19.
19.
12. No. What's 8 plus 5? 8 plus 5.
13.
I'm so stupid.
No, it's okay.
Did you do one?
Oh, sorry, 5.
We were all like,
It's easy to tell that there's something amiss, especially when you already know that there would be. There are some bricks on this wall that are more worn out than others.
can I touch it?
You press on one of these worn bricks and they just sort of sinks into the wall.
I'll touch the other ones then, I guess.
There's another one.
Wait a second. Before we go in there, do you want to see what's in there?
Sure.
She's like about to touch
She's
the
like,
last one.
Yeah, maybe, sure.
All right. I'm going to. Well, either we could wait 10 minutes and be sure, or we could just go in. Which one do you think?
Sure.
All right. Then he'll spend 10 minutes casting clairvoyance with seeing to see into what's beyond the brick wall.
Okay. How far are you on it? Throw it just as far as you can? Past the brick wall?
Oh, no, that'd be like a mile. I would say like a good 20 feet past the wall.
Okay. You throw your sensor up. It emanates into this room. You can see what looks to be a long hallway, unilluminated. At the end, you can see very faint light that's almost sort of shrouded. It's hard to really tell what's going on there without getting closer, but that's what you see. There doesn't seem to be anyone else there.
So just like a hallway and a light.
Just a hallway and a light. It's there. Past this brick wall.
I'd relay that.
Should I keep pressing them?
I don't know what the light was, but it's not getting any closer. I don't think, so should be fine.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out. And then I keep pressing them.
The brick sinks into the wall, and as it does, they begin to cascade, just sinking into the walls itself, opening a passageway forward.
I'll start, and I walk, and I'm gonna go.
Okay. You can see light at the end of this damp stone passageway, but like Vincent relayed, it's foggy. Right at the end of the hallway, there's some sort of translucent light that hits almost like a barrier. Make an Arcana check, Vincent, with advantage.
With advantage?
Yep.
You're gonna love this. There's a 2 and
Okay.
then a natural 1.
What's the 2 lead to? Because it's not a high DC.
Not that bad. It was an 11.
Beats 10.
Okay.
That's the DC.
Good.
Because to recognize one of your own spells, it's a Sanctum spell.
Okay.
At the end of this hallway, you recognize the faint, translucent barrier there as some sort of warding against divination.
Okay.
Push forward.
Yeah. Can we get through it?
Yeah, you know that you can push
Yeah.
through a Sanctum spell.
Cool.
Yeah, we shall.
Make your way through to a different room. Clearing the barrier, you can see what looks like almost the interior of a greenhouse. There are rows of planters. Sprouting from the dirt of each one are beautiful iridescent flowers that stretch upward and stand stoically. Despite the gloomy interior of this chamber, the sheer amount and elegance of these flowers makes it seem like a meadow, almost. It all culminates at a point in the center. A fragment of pearlescent, broken stone that emanates a pale, silvery glow. It's resting in a small nook carved into a pedestal, and its light covers each of the flowers, bringing out their glow. On the sides of this room, there are plants that don't really match up, a variety of them, honestly, that are different colors and shapes and sizes, as well as what looks to be like equipment. Beakers and hot plates and test tubes, vials, etc. Things that you can't really name or have really used. Maybe the only person being Ladara that would recognize any of them. You stand in the glow of this fragment in this strange place beneath Thorn Manor. What do you do?
Can I see if I recognize anything on the table? Like, actually? From anything?
Sure. Make a perception check.
22.
22. Looking across the tabletop, there's a number of ingredients that have been mashed in like a mortar and pestle. Some that have been chopped up, some that have been boiled on a hot plate in a beaker. And one of them has a particular burnt lavender scent that hits your nostrils almost immediately. What was the number exactly? 22? Okay. You can most likely assess, just from your previous experience, that some of these ingredients look poisonous, toxic.
Well, I know what that is. And this is where they made the poison.
I see.
And they needed that for the... That's the herb. That's the ash root.
You think they got it from the church?
Probably, at this point.
Are there any, like, notes or anything left behind?
I'll roll for that. Okay. Making your way through this area, you can see that there is a satchel that is open and that there are 4 bottles that have been recently emptied, though there is a little bit of substance in there that is this dark crimson sort of liquid. This sort of very slight amount that's pooled at the bottom of one bottle.
Oh, thank God.
Alongside the table, just to finish describing things, there are test tubes that are filled. Most of them are empty except for one, which contains a small glowing petal. And the last thing that would be relevant to you is that there is, for all of this, there's very little food or drink in this area, save for one bottle of thorn wine that is open currently.
I ain't fucking drinking that.
Let me just test it.
Can you imagine, side note, if we had gone down here before, we would... This is the whole thing. This is it.
Yeah, the whole
damn
city
thing.
probably would like not be like.
Is there like a note on
save
the?
hundreds of people.
Is there like a note on
There have been some difficult.
the wine that's like, do not cross these 2 ingredients, and then we see the ingredients there, and we're like, oh shit, we could have known this the whole time.
This is mostly based on information you've already gathered about from Yarlaxle and about what these sorts of things are. It's basically you putting together the information you've already learned. In terms of notes, there's not a lot of notes down here, except none that you can really decipher. There's one note that I think make a perception check. Sure. There's a lot of them that are like complicated recipes, like they look like chemistry equations that are just like written out. That's
27.
27.
Natural
Investigation?
20
Perception, sorry.
Oh, perception?
Natural 20.
plus 1.
15.
You're able to figure out a couple things. There are notepads where certain things are written down. Most of them have like a date written out, and they say something along the lines of 3 samples left. get in contact with Finnegan,
Oh. Okay.
etc. So they change, like, oh, 2 more samples get in contact with Finnegan, that sort of thing. Like they look like more like reminders. With 27, Ladara, you make your way over to another table with a bunch of the one with the ash root on it and start looking through, and you can see that there's a couple items that are there. You can see a little bit more of that like pooling crimson in like a very slight amount in a vial along with the ash root, as well as what looks to be a lock of like dark hair. And then a reminder is also there, which has a bunch of things crossed off. The first one says strange blood, crossed off. Second one says church flower, crossed off. Third one says brat, crossed off. The fourth one just says troll's nail and is not crossed off. But looking at this mixture that's been created in like this beaker here, I think Vincent would be the first person to catch up that it's a smell that hit as soon as it pierced Renair. So it looks like it's the beginnings. You could recreate the poison that Valentina had made, but you need one more ingredient to do so.
I want to take things. I would like to take. I want to steal.
Ladara like opens the bag of holding and is like scooping shit in.
She's like,
Ladara's
honestly,
like,
this is very useful.
I want to steal.
In the vials, there was like a little drop
Yeah.
left.
There's a little bit. Yeah, there's a little drop left. There's one vial that looks like this sort of beast blood is what you would essentially call it. And then there's like a beaker that has a mix of things with this sort of note on it. It looks like it's missing one ingredient.
Okay, well, I'm going to take it.
Full. Okay, you're able to cork it, take it, put it in your bag. You got it all there.
And then okay, all right. That's it.
Okay. Investigating this area.
Didn't you say there was something in the middle of the room that it was like a stone?
Yep. There is a glowing fragment on a pedestal in the center of the room that is emitting this strong but not overpowering glow. Not unlike moonlight.
Is it... I guess Vincent's just gonna go up to it and look at it. Get a good look at it, see if I sense anything coming from it, or if it's like the same energy that I saw in the sanctum, like the barrier or something.
Vincent, walking up to it, there is a calmness that washes over you. It clears away the fear of being in this unknown place for a little bit. You're not sure what it's related to, but the glow of it feels strangely familiar to you.
It's weird. He's not gonna touch it. Did you guys come look at this for a second? Does this thing make you feel anything?
Feel anything? And I woke up. Do I feel anything?
You do. You do feel something, Ladara. It's strange. This calmness, this genuine relief, just basking in this thing's light. It is weirdly familiar. Same with you, Azram. You look at this, and for a second, there is no tense argument. There is no worries of
compounding consequences and danger in the city above, there isn't a worry of what will happen next and what your enemies are doing. There's just pale, silvery moonlight that encompasses all of you. As you hear from the entrance.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
You see gas begin to trickle from the ceiling
What the fuck? I'm running.
Does Azarim
and fill the space.
recognize it at all?
You do. And that's where we'll end.
What?